Liberal TV host mocks Karoline Leavitt's necklace. Her response is shocking. The bright studio lights beam down on the television set, illuminating the polished glass table where a panel of political commentators sat. It was just another evening on one of America's most watched left-leaning talk shows, until the conversation took a sharp and unexpected turn. As the host, a well-known liberal figure with a reputation for sharp wit and biting commentary, introduced the next segment, his eyes flickered to the screen behind him. A picture of Karoline Leavitt, the rising conservative star and former Trump administration press secretary, flashed across the monitor. She was captured mid-speech, confidently addressing a crowd while wearing a gold necklace with an unmistakable charm, "America first." The host smirked. He turned to the camera with a mocking grin. "Well, folks," he chuckled, "it looks like Karoline Leavitt is making a bold fashion statement. Nothing screams subtlety like wearing a necklace that practically yells, 'I'm in a cult.'" The studio audience erupted in laughter. His co-hosts joined in, shaking their heads, as if Leavitt's choice of jewelry was the most ridiculous thing they'd seen all week. The host wasn't done. He leaned forward and added, "I mean, seriously, is this what political discourse has come to? Wearing your loyalty around your neck like a dog tag." The segment quickly made its way onto social media, with liberal pundits mocking Leavitt's necklace and conservatives rushing to her defense. But what no one saw coming was how Leavitt herself would respond. Leavitt strikes back rather than retreating or issuing a bland, diplomatic response. Leavitt took to social media and delivered a fiery, no-nonsense reply that left her critics speechless. "Imagine being so out of touch with real Americans that you mock a simple necklace symbolizing love for our country," she tweeted. "This is why the left is losing. They hate patriotism. They mock the values that built this nation, and they sneer at anyone who dares to be proud of the USA. I'll proudly wear my America First necklace every single day. Cry harder." The tweet went viral instantly. Within hours, #AmericaFirst necklace was trending. Conservatives rallied around Leavitt, praising her for standing her ground. Some even started buying similar necklaces as a show of solidarity. But Leavitt didn't stop there. The next morning, she appeared on a conservative news channel, where she delivered what would become one of the most talked-about soundbites of the week. "This is exactly why Americans are turning away from the mainstream media," she said confidently. "They claim to support women, but when a conservative woman expresses pride in her country, they mock her. They claim to be tolerant, but they can't tolerate patriotism. And they call themselves the party of the people, yet they despise everything that everyday Americans believe in." The host nodded as Leavitt continued, her voice unwavering. "So let me make this clear. I'm not backing down. I'm not apologizing. I'm not going to stop wearing this necklace. And in fact, I'm ordering 100 more and sending them to every young conservative woman I know. If that offends the left, good. Maybe it's time they realize that patriotism isn't a punchline." The fallout Leavitt's response sent shockwaves through the political world. Conservative media hailed her as a fearless warrior, while liberal commentators scrambled to defend the original joke. Some attempted to shift the conversation, arguing that the backlash was overblown, while others doubled down, insisting that the necklace was nothing more than a dog whistle for extreme nationalism. But the damage had been done. The liberal host, clearly caught off guard by the strength of Leavitt's response, tried to downplay the controversy on his next show. "It was just a joke," he insisted with a nervous laugh. "People really need to lighten up." But the joke was on him. Leavitt had turned the moment into a political rallying cry, solidifying her reputation as a fearless conservative voice. The sales of America First necklaces skyrocketed. And while the media tried to move on, one thing was clear: Karoline Leavitt had taken a hit, turned it into a win, and left her critics scrambling for a comeback. Patriotism wasn't a joke to her. And judging by the reaction from everyday Americans, it wasn't a joke to them either. The media meltdown as Leavitt's response continued to gain traction. Liberal media outlets scrambled to regain control of the narrative. The morning talk shows, cable news panels, and social media influencers all weighed in, trying to spin the controversy in their favor. One prominent left-wing columnist wrote an op-ed titled "The Dangerous Rise of Fashionable Nationalism," arguing that the America First necklace wasn't just a simple piece of jewelry, it was a symbol of far-right extremism disguised as patriotism. Another TV host, visibly frustrated, ranted during a primetime broadcast. "Conservatives love to play the victim," he fumed. "No one is saying you can't wear your little necklace. But when you make your identity all about nationalism, Don't be surprised when people call you out. But these arguments only fueled the backlash. For millions of Americans watching, it seemed like the left was proving Leavitt's point. They weren't just mocking her necklace, they were mocking patriotism itself. The conservative counterstrike sensing an opportunity, conservative leaders and influencers jumped on the controversy, turning it into a cultural movement. Prominent right-wing figures, from media personalities to politicians, began posting photos of themselves wearing patriotic jewelry, using the hashtag #AmericaFirstProud. Senator Josh Hawley tweeted, "They mocked Karoline Leavitt's necklace because it says America First. But these same people support athletes who kneel for the flag. The left despises patriotism, and it's time we call them out." Former President Donald Trump also weighed in, posting on Truth Social, "Karoline Leavitt destroys the fake news media. They mock America First because they hate America. These people are a joke. Proud of Karoline for standing strong." Meanwhile, conservative merch companies seized the moment. Within days, online stores were flooded with America First necklaces, t-shirts, and bracelets. Some even designed satirical necklaces that read, "Triggered," a direct jab at the liberals who had lost their minds over Leavitt's jewelry. Leavitt doubles down, riding the wave of support. Karoline Leavitt took the controversy to the next level. She announced a limited edition collection of America First necklaces, with proceeds going to organizations that support conservative candidates and voter outreach. The first batch sold out within hours. Appearing on a major conservative podcast, Leavitt laid out her final thoughts. "The left didn't just attack my necklace," she said. "They attacked every American who believes in putting our country first. They mocked hardworking people who love their nation. They insulted millions who are proud of where they come from. And now they're panicking because we didn't cower, we fought back." When asked if she had any regrets, she simply smiled. "None at all. In fact, I'd like to thank them. Because they just reminded Americans why we fight for this country every single day." The last laugh. Despite the left's attempts to bury the controversy, the damage was done. The liberal host who had mocked Leavitt in the first place faced declining ratings, and his network quietly moved on to other topics, hoping the backlash would fade. But for conservatives, the moment had solidified something bigger than just a necklace. It was a symbol of resistance against a media and political class that looked down on ordinary Americans. It was a reminder that patriotism was still alive and well. And as Karoline Leavitt continued to proudly wear her America First necklace, one thing was clear: the joke was over. And she had won. The final blow. As the days passed, the media outrage over Karoline Leavitt's necklace began to fizzle out. Liberal commentators who had mocked her initially were now silent, avoiding further discussion as they realized the backlash had only strengthened her influence. Conservative voices, on the other hand, continued to rally around her, turning what started as an insult into a movement. Then, Leavitt delivered the final blow. She announced that she would be headlining a major conservative rally, one dedicated to celebrating patriotism, free speech, and American values. The event, titled America First, a movement, not just a motto, was held in front of thousands of supporters, with even more watching online. Standing on stage in front of a massive American flag, Leavitt pointed to the gold necklace resting on her collarbone. "They thought they could shame us for loving our country," she said. "They thought they could bully us into silence. But look around, America is awake, and we are done being silenced." The crowd erupted in applause and chants of USA, USA, USA. As the rally concluded, Leavitt took to social media one last time with a post that would seal the moment in history. A simple photo of her necklace, with the caption, "Still wearing it. Still proud." United States, the post broke records, generating millions of likes, shares, and comments. Conservative leaders praised her resilience, while even some moderates admitted that the left had overplayed its hand. The lesson learned: what began as a snarky joke from a liberal TV host ended up exposing a deeper divide in American politics. The attempt to ridicule Leavitt had backfired spectacularly, proving once again that the media's disdain for patriotism only fueled the very movement they sought to diminish. For conservatives, the incident was a wake-up call, a reminder that standing firm in one's beliefs, no matter the ridicule, was the only way forward. And as for Karoline Leavitt, she walked away from the controversy stronger than ever, with a message that would resonate for years to come. Patriotism is not a punchline. It's a way of life.